All right, here we are again with merchandise inventory, chapter 6. We're going to do the periodic inventory method. We're going to use that for calculating with FIFO and LIFO. If you're moving on in accounting and you plan to take the CPA exam, it is highly recommended that you learn the perpetual inventory method. That is the tougher method, but in this particular course, we test just heavily on the periodic inventory. And we tested a little bit. We had in the previous video where we did perpetual inventory with the specific identification. But other than that, you're going to be doing FIFO and LIFO calculations using the periodic inventory method. So just a brief overview. We talked previously about the periodic inventory system in the previous chapter. Accounting is simpler in using this method because the company is not going to keep a daily running record of inventory on hand. The only way to determine the ending merchandise inventory and the cost of goods sold in the periodic inventory system is to take a physical inventory count of the goods left on hand. And that's usually at the end of the fiscal year. So this periodic inventory system, it works well with small businesses where there's not much inventory and it can be, controlled by visual inspection. But if there's a lot more items or even a dollar amount, larger dollar amount for the items, then you should use perpetual inventory and be keeping a continuous record of the inventory. Okay. But anyway, so we are doing the easier one. And so let's go ahead and move on with that. So here we have an example problem with the periodic inventory method. And it's on July 31st. You can see here, Archer counts 4 units of inventory on hand. So we already know, okay, there's 4 left on hand. And we're going to compute that ending merchandise inventory and the cost of goods sold for Archer using FIFO inventory costing method. And we have here our beginning merchandise inventory and some purchases. And they want us to use FIFO in this problem. And so let's do a little reminder for ourselves. So let me get a little pen out here so we can, I'm going to use typing instead. So we can make sure we use red. Okay. So if we're trying to find ending inventory, so ending I'm just going to say inventory, even though it's merchandise inventory. Ending inventory under the FIFO method, first in, first out, we would use last in stays here, LISH. So I'm giving you a new mnemonic to memorize. It's not too bad. So whatever came in last, that's what's staying, in the shop. Last in stays here. So whatever was bought last, that's going to be what's left on hand for ending inventory. All right. So if we're looking here, let's make a little tab over here. And I'm going to just write out LISH again. Oh, let's change this to be red and not be bold. There we go. That way you have different colors to follow. All right, so under our LISH, last in stays here, we have 4 units that were left on hand, right? And so what 4 units were left, if we're following what pricing level are they left at? Well, whatever came in last stays here. So our last purchase was July 26, and we're only looking for 4, but there was 5 units at $85. So our 4 remaining ones that are left on hand, right, are going to be at the $85 range, okay? Because that's what came in last. And so that would be 4 times 85, and that would be $340 for our ending inventory. Awesome. We just finished our first answer there. Make that a different color so we have it. There you go. It's mad at me. There you go. Perfect. One down. What do we need next? What do we need next? It's cost of goods sold. All right, let's do a different color so you can follow along and know that the red was for ending merchandise inventory, which we just finished. And let's do like blue or something. Some different color. That works for us. Let's see if I did that right. I probably have to redo the color. Of course, of course. All right, so now we're going to figure out what was sold. Oh, Debbie, come on. All right, so if we want to figure out what was sold, there we go. 6. Well, all of these were sold. All of these, we only had 4 left, right? 4 ending left, so all the rest of our purchases must have been sold because we only had 4 units left. So we would say, okay, there's 1 left of the 5, right? Because that was sold. 1 of the 5 was sold, but 4 were left. And then all 10 at $70 was sold. It's 5 at 67 and 6 at 60. So we're just going to calculate, do the math for that. I'm going to just tell you the answers. I calculated them already, but you can always take a calculator and double check them if you want. So 6 at $60 is $360. So those were all sold. And then we'll do the same thing. I'm just going to copy that so I can keep it the same color going on here at 67. And that is that amount. And then this was 10 at 70. Easy math there. And then we said 1, right? Because 4 were left as ending inventory. So we must have sold 1 then at the $85. So that would be just $85. All right, so these 4 here we need to add up. So we'll use our calculator for that. Make sure I don't do mistakes here. So we have 360 sold, 335, 785. All right, our answer is 1,480 is our cost of goods sold. Those were those 4 added up. Cool, not too bad there. So that was under the FIFO method. And now we'll do under the LIFO method below. So the next one we have is same data as above. I just went ahead and put it here for us so we don't have to scroll like a bazillion. And so same data as above, but now we want to figure out under under weighted average. So we're going to do under weighted average method in this one. Okay, so if we were to do LIFO, let's just talk about it because I thought it was LIFO. If we were to do LIFO, it would be my ending inventory would be fish. So under LIFO, just so you have it, and we'll talk about it in a second, we'll use fish. And that would be first in stays here. So whatever came in first is what's left on our shelves under the LIFO method. So if I were trying to find the ending inventory under that method, it wouldn't be these last 4 that are left on our shelves. It actually would be the beginning ones of 4 units that would be left at $60. So we would assume, so we would go 4 times 60, and that would give us our ending merchandise inventory under the LIFO method. And then we would say, okay, what was the cost of goods sold under LIFO? Well, it would have been 2, 5, 10, and 5. All right, so not too bad. So that's why we didn't do that one. But now you have the explanation there. All right, and you have your mnemonic. Let's get into weighted average. All right, perfect. So this one, a little more math. I'm going to bring up the calculator, make sure I give you the right math amounts and calculations. So under the weighted average calculation, let's actually do a label for that. All right, so under that method, we have 6 at $60. Okay, we can do that one in our head. And then we have 5. At 67. All right, that's 335. And then we have 10 at 70. And then we're going to find the weighted average. So we want to calculate for all of them. All right. So all 5 is 85. All right. So we have 360, 335, 700, and 425. So we want to find the total amount. Let's do tabs because that'll get me there faster. Total amount. Uh, 1,820. So my total amount, and then we're going to divide it by our total units will give me my average price per unit. So let's go ahead and write in our total units. Well, that would be the 6 beginning, the 5, the 10, and the 5. 26 total units. So the 26 total units, their total cost was 1,820. So we got some little bit of division to find the average. So the average would be the total amount divided by the total units. So 1,820 divided by total units of 26. Let's put a dollar sign there for your notes. And that would be $70 per unit. So our average, this is under weighted average method, our cost per unit will be $70 per unit. So we're going to use that to calculate our ending and our cost of goods sold. So our ending inventory is still 4, still as the same as above in the problem above. So 4 units is what they counted on hand. So ending would be 4 units times the $70. Let's do a different color. We calculated that average already. So 4 times 7, so that is 22,000 and I mean 2,000. Oh geez, $280 is my ending merchandise inventory for those 4 units. That's the total value of those 4 units that are left on the shelves using the weighted average method. So cost of goods sold. So what was sold? Well, we had a total of 26 units, right? 6, 5, 10, 5. That was 26 total units. We have 4 left, right? So if we were to get a different color again, if we were to have 26 units, but there was 4 left that we counted ending, right? And this was the total, right? Including beginning and purchases. That would mean that we have 22 sold, 22 units sold. All right. So we got to do a little math again. So we're going to do 22 units times the average of 70, the weighted average. And so we're looking at, let's make sure, $1,540 worth of merchandise sold. So that's our cost of goods sold, 1,540, and then here our ending is 280. So actually, you got in this video, you got both methods discussed. We did FIFO. We actually did it. We talked about how it would be with LIFO. It's just in the reverse direction. And then we did weighted average. So awesome. You had everything in a quick 15-minute video for periodic inventory method.